This is an All Ears English Podcast, episode 1861. 3 English phrasal verbs with come. Welcome to the All Ears English Podcast, downloaded more than 200 million times. Are you feeling stuck with your English? We'll show you how to become fearless and fluent by focusing on connection, not perfection, with your American host, Aubrey Carter, the IELTS whiz, and Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, coming to you from Arizona and Colorado, USA. To get real-time transcripts right on your phone and create your personalized vocabulary list, try the All Ears English app for iOS and Android. Start your 7-day free trial at allearsenglish.com/app.
So many phrasal verbs and expressions exist for the verb to come. Today, we break down the most common of these so you can avoid any communication breakdown in your conversations with native speakers.
Hey, Aubrey, do you have any friends or family coming into town anytime soon?
Yes, I have a really good friend that lives in Seattle who's driving to Wyoming. And so she's going to come right through Idaho and I'm going to get to see her. I cannot wait.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh, what are you going to do? Are you going to
We might go to Craters of the Moon. There's this
I've
really...
been there.
Have you been? Oh,
yeah,
you
I've
were
been
so
there.
close to my house. That's like an hour from where
really?
I am. Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, we were there a few summers ago, Craters of the Moon.
Yeah, it's like a lava flow so there's all these really cool tunnels and it looks like you're on the moon because this lava flow plants really haven't grown back up. So really cool to see.
Wow, there's so many cool things to see in the American West. I don't know. I just want to get in the car and go sometimes. But gas prices these days are high.
I know. Ooh, it's terrible. My husband and daughter came and visited Idaho, and they came with my brother in his big diesel truck.
No.
Oh, they said it was so expensive to fill up every time, and they had to fill up so often. Ooh, so painful.
Oh, not good, not good. Oh. All right, well, we're going to get into some good stuff today. We have a really good question from a listener. And actually, Aubrey, maybe I'll just summarize. So this listener, in the first part of his note from us, he said he loves our show. He started listening to our podcast a few weeks ago. He's been trying to improve his English and he's happy that he found All Ears English. So what is his question, Aubrey?
Yeah,
what exactly
so
does he want to know?
Related to that question you asked me, if any friends or family are coming into town. We have that phrasal verb come into. Great. And he asked this great question about the verb come. So let me go ahead and read it. It says, I always get confused with the way some people use the word come. The way I've seen it for years, you'll use to say that you're returning from a place. Like, I came back from the beach. It comes and goes. The sound is coming from upstairs, etc. So when people say, I'll come to you, I'll come to your house, I feel like it doesn't make sense to me, even though I've used several times the phrase, I'm coming over. It would be great if you guys can explain more about it so that I can understand better when it's right to say, do you want me to come to your house or do you want me to go to your house? I think both are correct, but this gets me all the time. Thanks. Yes. You guys are great. I listen to you both on my way to work every day. And this is Jeffrey Kumana from Frederick, Maryland. That was in a podcast review.
That was in a podcast. Amazing, guys. When you review our show, you can actually put your question right in there and we will see it, no doubt. So review All Ears English. This is great. It's such a common question and so important for our listeners.
Yes, it's so interesting. Thank you, Jeffrey, for the question. And what is confusing is all the phrasal verbs and expressions that we have with the verb come, right? Jeffrey listed many different uses of the verb come. So we're going to go through them one at a time. And that'll clarify this.
Yeah, we're going to break this down for you guys. So if you've also felt stressed out like Jeffrey about this word and just not quite sure all these different ways to use it, we're going to show you today. Again, it always comes back to connection. Okay.
Exactly.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So the first way that he used it was to say come back. And this is a phrasal verb. It means to return to the point of origin after going somewhere. For example, he said, I came back from the beach, which it could be, I came back home, came back wherever. It's coming back to where you were before you went to the beach.
Okay, yeah, came back from the beach. Right, exactly. Coming back to where you were before you went. Good. And then she just came back from Australia. So again, coming back to where you were before you were in Australia. Same idea.
Exactly, right? So very common phrasal verb. We use it all the time, but it does have a different meaning from, come to, come from, come into. Right. So you have to understand that it's that phrasal verb. The two words come back have a very specific meaning.
Yeah, so that's one chunk, and you guys should write that one down, write all of these down today, or get the app so you can see them getting highlighted inside the app, right, Aubrey? I mean, that's a key thing to do. But what's the next one here?
So then he used the expression comes and goes. And this it means that something happens or exists and then goes away, doesn't exist anymore, right? We might say money comes and goes, but love is forever.
or how's your headache? It comes and goes. I think of this a lot when it comes to pain, like identifying pain. If you go to the doctor, it's weird, this pain, it comes and goes, like a headache or a backache or something.
Yeah, this is really accurate for me with allergies. They come and go.
Oh, allergies.
They never are really gone all the way, but they're not always bothering me, right? They come and go.
Oh, that's a bummer. I don't really have allergies. So have you always been allergic to, what do you think you're allergic to, Aubrey?
Desert pollens, because I never had allergies in Idaho and I don't now, but in the springtime in Arizona, when the flowers in the desert are blooming, my allergies get really severe. But I have found something that helps is local honey made locally, which sort of immunizes you against the local pollens. Fascinating.
Well, that's kind of awesome. You get to eat honey. That's amazing.
Honey on like an English muffin. Ugh, so good.
That's a great medicine.
Yes, exactly.
Better than a pill or something.
Good natural remedy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, good stuff. What's number 3? What's the third one for our listeners?
So this is another phrasal verb he mentioned, come from, which means originating from, right? It's indicating the source of something. So he used the example, the noise is coming from upstairs. That means it's originating from upstairs.
Yeah. Or you could say, where does her energy come from? Right. She has a lot of energy and you want to know how or why.
Exactly. Okay? I've had people say this about me because I do kind of sometimes seem like the Energizer bunny. Like I'm like, let's play another game and everybody else is ready for a nap.
You're the one who always wants to play the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I could see that about you, Aubrey. Good stuff. What next?
Okay, so then he asked about come to versus go to. So let's dive in and just clarify this. We come to a person and go to anywhere else, right? So if someone is at their house and you are going to where they are, you'd say, do you want me to come to your house? Because you're coming to a person. But if they are elsewhere and you are going to their house and they aren't there, you would say, do you want me to go to your house?
To your house. So it's always all about where that other person is that you're talking to. Is that right, Aubrey?
Exactly. Okay. Right. So come to, if you're talking about going to where a person, meeting a person, do you want me to come to the bar? That means they are at the bar and you're meeting there. If they're not there yet, you'd say, want me to go to the bar and meet you there later?
Yeah, that's so true. So your point of reference is the person you're speaking to.
Yep.
So just keep that in mind. It's all about them. And that'll help you remember, guys, which verb to use here.
Yeah, exactly. If someone's at the lake, you'd say, I'll come to the lake later because you're meeting them there. If they're not there yet, right, then you'd say, I'll go to the lake. What time are you going? I'll go to the lake later.
Yes, exactly. It wouldn't make any sense if that person wasn't there and you would say, I'm coming to the lake. I mean, I guess sometimes natives do sort of break this rule a little bit. Don't you think? A little bit like, I'm coming to the lake because it's maybe where their home is or something.
Maybe, but it's sort of, I had to really think about this, Lindsay, because I'm like, when do we use each? And I'm Googling because so many of these things, natives do them without really thinking about why they choose one or the other. And this feels pretty consistent. I'm like, okay, I would use come to if I'm meeting someone. And then I would use go to if I'm not. Like they're not there. Maybe they'll be later. I would say go to.
To the lake. Yeah. I mean, I think that's mostly true. Totally.
But you're right. Natives always break the rules. That's what makes English so difficult.
We really do. But
guys, it's not a hard and fast rule, right? So
it's not a hard and fast rule. Guys, this is good though. You can take this rule away today and start creating sentences based on this rule. And then later you can listen to natives. If they do break it, you'll find that breakage, right? You'll find that. Okay, let's show our listeners how it's done in a real conversation. Here, we're coordinating a day at the beach.
So
Love it.
Fun. Okay, I'm going to the beach at 10 a.m. What time are you coming to meet me?
Well, I'll be coming from work, so I won't get there until around noon.
Okay, we might grab some lunch at a nearby taco shop, but we'll come back before noon.
Are you going to Tia Rosa's?
No, that one closed down.
Oh, sad. They had the best tacos. Those places really come and go.
Nice.
Oh, that's sad when a good taco bar closes down. Yeah.
This happened to me in Newport Beach, California. The best little taco shop that was right off the beach. So it was so easy. You don't have to pack a lunch. You can just go grab a cheap taco, and then it closed. It was so sad.
Closed. No.
Right.
I love that. I like that area of Southern California, Newport Beach.
Dude, they have the best boardwalk where you can walk or ride bikes along the beach for miles. I love that.
Do you know how to surf? Are you a surfer?
No, I have tried. I'm terrible. I just always eat it, land on my face. I'll body surf. I'll have like the short board where I'll catch a wave, but I can't stand up on a surfboard. What about you? Can you surf?
I mean, I've taken a couple lessons over the years. I took one in Nicaragua and took one in right there, Newport Beach area in California. And I really enjoyed it. It was hard. Don't get me wrong. I did get up a couple of times, but I just think surfing is the coolest sport. It's so cool. Otherworldly.
And it's a great workout. You feel so successful if you get it. I should take a course. I should take your example and take a class sometime. And then I'd actually learn how to do it instead of just winging it.
Oh, yeah. You have to take a lesson. No.
Yes.
In my mind, you got to take a lesson because that's something that you don't naturally know how to do, right?
You got to learn the skills.
The right time to stand up. But I really enjoyed my surfing lessons.
That's awesome.
Good stuff.
Let's go through this. Guys. So I first said, I'm going to the beach at 10 a.m. So I wouldn't say I'm coming to the beach because nobody's there yet that I'm meeting. Exactly. I'm going to get there first. So I'm going to the beach at 10 a.m.
Yeah, you're going to be the first one there. And then you are saying, what time are you coming to meet me? Because you're already going to be there. That's very clear.
I'll be there. So you'll be coming to meet me. Yep.
And then I say, well, I'll be coming from work. So again, I'm coming from work because you're already there.
Well, so you're using that phrasal verb there, right? I tried to shove all these into this role play. So that's that phrasal verb we taught come from.
Right.
Where you're originating, right? You're at work.
Oh, yeah.
That's your place of origin, as we say. And so you are coming from work to the beach. So we use that phrasal verb come from.
Okay, good. Yeah, good call. We're going back to that phrasal verb. Okay. And what's next, Aubrey?
And then that other phrasal verb come back, I said, okay, since you're going to be late, right? We might grab some lunch at a nearby taco shop, but we'll come back, meaning we'll come back to the beach. So we were at the beach, we go grab a taco, we'll come back to the beach before noon to meet you. So that's why we use that phrasal verb come back.
Perfect. And then I said, are you going to Tia Rosa's? So in that case,
coming here because nobody's there that you're going to meet, right? You're going to Tia Rosa's.
Yeah. And what's the last one?
And then you said those places really come and go. So this is this expression we also use, when places are there and then gone, and that happens a lot. Yeah.
Just cycles of life of business, right?
Yep.
A lot of businesses go out of business. It's normal in the US. This kind of thing happens all the time, right? And so the cycles of life, things come and go, pain comes and goes, all of that good stuff.
Yep. Another one pops up to replace it for sure.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I'm seeing that a lot. I remember when I moved back to New York from my time in South America, I felt like Union Square had become, a lot of the local places had left, had gone. Unfortunately,
it was replaced. What's there now? They're like big box stores,
like
kind of.
Yeah, Cheesecake Factory and things that are just honestly
there's like
not
a
that inspiring.
Foods right there now, right?
There's a Whole Foods there, yeah. And I remember there was a real shift in like 2010 because I came back in like 2009. I was like, wow, things have really changed.
Yes, I'm envisioning that square. I think there's like a Babies R Us or like. Yeah, I remember because I was living there with little kids, and I remember going to Union Square to go get like a little pack to pack a baby on the front of me.
Okay,
but it is kind of strange. There's no little local shops there now. It's all these big chain stores now.
Yeah, and it used to be. I mean, it kind of is the beginning of downtown, so that's where things supposedly get quite local, right? And then so now we got to go further downtown. I haven't been to New York in a while though, so we'll see.
Or further uptown, because where we lived in Washington Heights, it was still all little bodegas bodegas, locally owned.
Yes, also very cool.
Yes,
also very cool.
for sure.
Love that. All right, this is great. So we got a little New York City knowledge in there to the episode today. What should our listeners come away with today?
Yes, you guys know verbs can be so tricky, especially with all the phrasal verbs and expressions for each verb, right? Today's episode, I think, just really gives great insight into some of these most common uses of the verb to come.
Yes, good stuff. I mean, these words are everywhere. They're all over the English language, guys. So make sure you listen to this episode again. It may be one of the most useful episodes you listen to in a while, just because they're so common. And you really want to nail this, right? Because this is kind of one of those glaring mistakes. I think we mentioned that, Aubrey, a few weeks ago or months ago. This is one of these mistakes. If you make the mistake, it feels pretty obvious that it's not natural.
Yes, and the meaning can be lost, right? This is where communication errors can happen. If you use the wrong phrasal verb and suddenly there's a breakdown in communication. Wait, so you're coming from where? Wait, no, you're coming back. Did that mean, so you're not sure? Like, where do I go then if you use the wrong one? It gets confusing.
And no one ends up at the beach, right? Everyone who knows where we end up.
Right.
That's so funny.
Well, this was really fun. I actually really love phrasal verbs. I like talking about them. So I'm glad our listeners are interested. And I'm so excited that you guys are at the level where you can use them in order to connect with others in English.
Yes, good stuff today, Aubrey. Guys, hit follow if you want more awesome All Ears English episodes. 4 days a week we publish, so don't miss a single episode. Aubrey, I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.
Awesome. See you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to All Ears English. Would you like to know your English level? Take our 2-minute quiz. Go to allearsenglish.com/fluency score. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then hit subscribe now to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.